Hey, welcome back to The Lonely Dragon. This is our whiskey tasting segment. I'm Evan Perez, this is Rob Hunt. We've got Shaun Stewart.
Hi there.
And Dayleigh Nelson. All right.
Just copy you.
So today we're going to be tasting
It is.
Jameson's Irish whiskey. Ooh. Now, I don't know anything about whiskey, as everybody knows. Rob is not an expert either, but I know
Or a
that...
fan.
Or a fan. But Shaun, I know that you are a regular whiskey
I enjoy
drinker.
it.
Yeah, you enjoy it. Dayleigh, you frequent pubs. I know that much.
I have a drinking problem, yes.
Excellent. So we're gonna get you guys' viewpoint on Jameson's, and I know that this is sort of your favorite drink.
By no means at all.
Okay, all right then.
Well, Jameson's essentially the cheap Irish whiskey. I mean, there's a reason it's the most worldwide sold Irish whiskey. I mean, it's a staple when you think, oh, Irish whiskeys. They get Jameson's here. It's one of the cheap ones there. I like the more like heading out far to the west type territory, the Connemara ones and the peat smoke stuff.
So this is not your favorite at all.
No, but
you're well versed in it.
Is it a gateway whiskey?
It's a gateway whiskey. It's like the party drinking, get yourself drunk. You're by no means a connoisseur. You want to go out clubbing. You'll mix it with lemon. You'll mix it with
Right.
They'll put it in with their ginger ale, which is essentially just Sprite or something like that.
Now, if I might,
They do it warm as well.
Jameson is made in our single distillery using rich port still whiskey from malted and unmalted barley and the finest grain whiskey, both distilled 3 times for smoothness. What the hell does that mean?
That means essentially this is, like they say, it's a single malt, but then they distill it 3 times through and through. And so they got a couple different ones. I think they have a 10, a 12, and an 18. If I'm mistaken, you can go on their website. You can check on Wikipedia. But they used to make this in Dublin, where they have an old distillery now, just in the Smithfield area. But now it's actually made in Cork, where they then ship it to Dublin, I believe,
All right.
for where they actually do all the bottling and such.
What can we expect from Jameson's Irish whiskey, in your opinion?
That's the trouble. See, I've lived in Dublin, so this is water to me now, unfortunately.
My experience with this too, like
To you.
we were talking about when we were talking about the 40 Creek, the rye whiskey. That's something that when I get that, I'll sit at home and sip
Enjoy
it and enjoy it. Every time I've had this, it's because something's going wrong in my life, and I intend to have this one shot at a time until it's gone.
I have drank an entire, just been pounding a bottle before to prove a point that I don't even think made sense. It was never a good point.
I'm sure by the time you reached the bottom of the bottle, it made sense.
Yeah, I found it somewhere there.
Yeah.
It was bottle number 2, maybe.
Okay, well, give us a sniff on that and lead us in
Give
the
you a little
sniffing part. Yeah.
Just tastes like memories, Brings me back.
We're getting memories. here.
Reminds me of the cat. They still have the cat from the old Jameson distillery stuff there. It's dead. The cat was a
The original
legend
cat.
and a hero. Yes, it guarded the barley from mice and rats. So they gave it only the finest in Irish creams and milk, and just treated the cat like a prince.
That's amazing.
That's what they tell you, at least. I mean,
That's amazing. Rob, what are you getting from this?
Oh, now it's much less aggressive than the rye smell.
gateway
Good.
whiskey was the
Yeah,
perfect.
Yeah,
it's a
word.
no,
courting.
it's
It's a
definitely-
courting whiskey. It courts you into it.
It's definitely it's much lighter smelling.
Okay. All right.
It
Awesome.
doesn't, yeah, it's
Let's see,
a
let's
little
see
more
what we
promising.
got. Yeah, definitely a lot softer.
It's a siren, is probably what it is for Rob. It lures him upon the rocks.
You know what?
Especially since he doesn't drink it neat. So.
Yeah.
Normally, I would be like, I would smell into it and be like, ugh. But this is actually,
Yeah, I guess
you really got to push into it to get a good whiff of it.
Yeah, mission accomplished. It has lured Rob onto
Yeah.
the rocks.
Yeah, there we go.
Shaun, what can you tell us?
I can hardly smell anything in there.
So I think, as
That's-
customary with everyone who's
It's
family.
It's like there's like a little bit of spiciness, but that's
tiny. I think
yeah.
you need
Or it's
lemon
like-
to unlock it, is what I've been told. I'm like, it's liquor. I'm pretty sure it'll unlock it. It'll unlock a lot of things once you drink it. But
Now-
I think
it's not this I want to unlock. You know, that's-
What would you guys recommend that you drink this with? Drink it straight? Drink it with something else? What's the deal with it?
as I said, I have only ever drinking this like by the shot.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Straight up, go for it. Having a bad day, it's raining outside. I don't know. Anything.
I've actually read that adding water to it releases flavors because the concentration of the alcohol and some of the flavors are water soluble, that by decreasing the concentration of alcohol it actually releases flavors. Now I don't know if this is specific.
Tap water won't do that.
Yeah,
though.
this isn't necessary for Jameson. I mean, I was reading this about why people add water to whiskey.
So what kind of water would you recommend
You
to
have to-
unlock
you-
the flavors of this whiskey?
If you're doing that, which I've never been a whiskey expert. I'm just an expert of drinking it. So I don't really do that, but I've done it before, and I've been at friends' house. They have a really expensive bottle, so here
Water
we
it
go.
down.
We got to put
Yeah.
in, or like I have some friends who have the stones as well.
Okay,
Stones.
Yeah, it's
Like the Rolling Stones?
yes, they put that on. We jam out to under my
didn't-
thumbs.
And drink Jameson.
I didn't know that was a thing.
Not bad.
No, you actually can get these whiskey and Scotch rocks, which are these small stones in there that you use. It's
Like
expensive.
real
and
rocks?
You can no.
Do you
Well,
keep
like,
them
what
in the
are- what are
fridge
they?
or?
You keep them in little bags. You can cool them. They can be picked up at your local haberdash for a reasonable price.
Haberdash.
If you know about
Is it a haberdashery or a haberdasher?
You pick it up from the haberdasherer, or the haberdashery.
Well,
For
if you have a
haberdasher
local,
raw.
if you have a local haberdasher, yes,
By all
please
means.
go ask about these whiskey stones.
If you don't want to
And,
release the hidden flavors with
yeah.
water.
There you
Of course,
go.
then you put on some gimme shelter and you
Yeah.
pretend
Okay.
you're in a Martin
And you find
Scorsese
shelter in the
movie.
bottle. There you go.
let's have a sip here.
I think what is customary with everyone whose family is Irish from 30 generations back, and they're super proud about it, or anyone who's traveled there, we at least have to do a cheers.
Okay.
Like bust out an Irish cheers. Sláinte, I believe.
Sláinte.
Sláinte?
Sláinte. And
Sláinte.
then from there, we just,
Sounds like a type of underwear.
All right. Sláinte.
Sláinte.
Yeah. Rob, how you doing?
It's definitely way softer.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
Softer,
Yeah.
but it's still.
That's how it gets you, though. You do like.
It,
I can
it
see
does
this
have
full
the
bottle.
it does have a little bit more of the burn.
Really? Because I'm not feeling the burn as much as I did with the 40 Creek. Like I could
Yeah,
feel the warmth
I-
coming down. This one, nothing. It's
I would think this would be great for when things were a bit tough because you could really hammer down a couple
Yeah,
of those.
yeah, that's
and
true.
a little bit of chaser, which
Again, I'm still riding from a year and a half ago. I'm still riding an immunity to this stuff, where it's like, oh dear, just too much Jameson's living in Dublin.
were you kidding when you said you'd been thrown out of one of the breweries?
That actually wasn't Jameson's. That was Bushmills, and that's because I drank something that wasn't supposed to be drank, but I didn't know.
Well, I know what we're reviewing next.
Join us as we take walks down memory lane through Dayleigh's drunken, embarrassing past.
That's going to be a lot of episodes.
Oh dear.
All right.
Half of them actually things that you've been on set for. So there we go.
Well, that wraps it up. Let's give it a quick rating here. What do you score it off at? 1 to 10?
I'm gonna have to have another one to be sure.
Yeah.
Rob, what do you score it at?
I would give it a higher score than 40 Creek, but
That's the
yeah,
10-year
I'd give it a
track.
9. I'd give it a 9 out of 10,
Yeah.
but I may have to take my scale to 11 or 12 if I ever find anything that doesn't taste like burning.
All right. Dayleigh,
So you're giving it a higher score because you can taste it less.
Yeah.
It is a more expensive, cheaper Irish whiskey. So
That's a contradiction.
exactly. It's one of the more basic, well-known ones. It's the best-selling in the world. And then, frankly, when you're
Gotcha.
right there buying it, it kind of is pricier than some of the ones I like much more. So I'll just be mean and give it a 5.
Whoa.
Just guest judges have to come on and just be like, no.
That's right. Shaun?
I'm gonna have to go with I'd say a 6 because I enjoy it, but there's not much there to enjoy except that it gets me drunk.
And the huge problem is you can never give it a fair rating because when you're buying this, as you said, it's because there's turmoil in your life.
Exactly.
So you're
There you
already
go.
associating with those woes.
Well, I am going to give it drinkability. Probably going to give it a 9 because it did go down a lot smoother. Quality-wise, maybe a 6. Yeah. But go ahead, try it out for yourself, and join us next time on The Lonely Dragon. Thank you so much for being here.
Thanks for giving us booze.
You can have some more.
Yes, please.
so.
This one actually is quite good in a hot whiskey as well.
Hot whiskey.
They do that or in the coffee, you splash
Really?
it in.
Well,
yeah,
no,
by all means.
well, okay.
Yeah, I could
Fair enough.
I could
Heat
see
it up,
that.
throw in some lemon,
Yeah.
having a laugh. Don't worry about it.
That's good.